Welcome to MBA 569, week 2. I'm so glad everybody was able to access materials okay last week. I'm trying a new type of video today using Zoom, so hopefully that will allow me to use my screen and allow me to do something a little bit different than I've done before. As we start with today's class, I'd like to just kind of share some information about some of the different assignments. If we scroll all the way to I believe it's page 6, you'll start to see that the quiz points are worth 20% of your grade every week, and that posting is worth 30% of your grade. Thank you very much for following through and doing your initial post by 9 o'clock. And people did a great job of getting the final post by Sunday. You will get 30 points each. And I just want to call to your attention is at a graduate level, one of the things with posting that is sometimes a little bit different is that we do use a resource, and you do get 5 points for that. So with the resource that's used, it's important to be using it documented at the end of your posting, and that is worth 5 points. I also find it very helpful for students, as I give the example here, to cite a page number so somebody who's reading your citation can go ahead and look at that. If you have something that's really good, for instance, a website, or an article that you think explains things very nicely, I really like to have people go ahead and attach it to their post. So just this week I will be posting. Probably what I want to spend the most time in today is looking at the different assignments. You have 3 different interviews, and since each of you in this class has a different walk of life, where you're coming from and where you may be going, I really have assigned these interviews to help make what's in the book come alive for you and make it a personal way to connect with someone, to make it seem that your conversations may build your resume. It might build you new connections. You never know when somebody will, you'll be looking for an internship, you might be looking for a job reference, and this is a new friend of yours. What's a little bit different is that these will be written in APA format, and they will have a reference list and citations. So each paper is worth 100 points. The first one is due March 4th, which is next week, and it will include a title page, be 2 or 3 pages of text, and 1 reference page. So for this first interview, it might be someone that you know, it might be someone that you don't know, but that you'd like to get to know. Maybe it's a referral from someone else, but each interview is going to be a different person. So think about, in your 3 people that you're going to interview, who would be the best fit for the questions that you're going to do. So this is where it's going to follow the book very carefully, and as we go through that part of the textbook, you'll have a better understanding. So for the first interview, on page 4 out of chapter 1, the top 10 challenges. That could be, anybody you know, or a challenge or problem in their work area and how they have solved the problem. We go into quite a bit of depth this week about problem solving. The interview 2 really is important when we look at organizational design and flow chart. Some of you have maybe had the experience where they decentralized. I'm thinking of people in the IT world. I know, having been involved in a college where we had our own dedicated IT, and then we went through where it was a health systems IT, and then they went back again. There were problems associated with that. And then, truly, I think the depth of the team chapter, you could go on forever, but I thought it would be helpful for you to talk to somebody. So pick whatever one you think is a good fit for you, and figure out who you'd like to interview for that. And then the third one really looks at more health policy and reimbursement and insurance issues, and how that makes a difference with maybe that healthcare sector. A good example is I have some friends that are in responsible for helping assure payments, and they have people in their department make sure that they code appropriately. Now, that would be the healthcare side. From an insurance side of point of view, I've had older women who I knew called the ambulance and had a hospitalization, and they did not code the all of the different problems he had, so she ended up having to pay for her whole health stay. And so those are, I think, some good examples of where the patient process and reimbursement. The other thing would be as far as with our new what people would call Obamacare and how that influences sectors. So I'm hoping these 3 interviews will be really engaging to you, and that you'll find them valuable, and will kind of bring this course to life to make it see why it's a good reference to use for your future business in the healthcare field. The last paper, which is going to be a little bit longer, but still only 6 to 7 pages, is looking at where you focus in on a specific health business sector. So here again, it's going to be a different person. So the interview, you can interview them via Skype if you want to. They don't have to live nearby. You don't have to do them person to person. It would be augmented by maybe spending some time with them, observing, literature searching to see what the top topics are, to help you to kind of inform yourself. And so as we look at the bigger picture, we're looking at the leadership style, bringing in the micro elements. So 75%, 75 points of the paper are looking at design, team concepts, politics, and some quality initiatives. And then the other 75 points is really looking at macro elements. Because this is a graduate level course, I do assign 30 points for following APA structure and grammar. I think based on this first week, APA doesn't seem to be a problem for you. So I'm hoping that these courses are helpful to you. If you find these assignments that you'd like to plan a time for us to talk face-to-face, I can schedule an office hour, or if you'd like to do it via FaceTime, or if you'd like to do a telephone conference call, that would be great. I'd encourage you to do it at least 2 or 3 days before the assignment is due. So hopefully this is helpful to you, and I will then post this for you on our website.